everyone to our first episode of IBS Student podcast. I am Maryam Ghafoori and this is...
I am Laura Pasquali.
We're going to be your first hosts in this podcast that as a community, we came up for the students to create a community together.
And we want to talk a little bit about how this came together. So this semester, one of our fellow alumni, Dixon Ekwe, had the idea of creating a student podcast. And a group of students decided to take on this project. And here we are now filming our very first episode.
Yes. So first we want to start with why IBS? Why did we end up in IBS, International Business School in Budapest? For me personally, I really like the international community and the progressive way of teaching. And I think personally I've been before doing IBS and before doing business, I was in med school doing dentistry. Learned the hard way that, this is not the path I want to go to, and I came across IBS and still wanted the international community, and I found it.
Well, I personally took a gap year after high school because I had really no idea what I wanted to study. But then I stumbled upon IBS. I heard from it from other friends who came here from the same high school as me. And also, I think one of the biggest reasons why I chose it is, as Maryam said, the progressive system, because the Hungarian system is just so outdated that I couldn't imagine myself there, especially that I've always been in international schools.
Yeah, I can second that. I tried the Hungarian system. It was challenging, the least to say. And for this episode, we're going to be discussing on life and expectations and life after university and maybe during university. A lot of us have these confusing or challenging thoughts of what's next or what to do.
Yes, because even though it was our choice to come here, I think sometimes everyone second guesses whether is this the right degree for us, is this the right direction that we're supposed to be heading in. For example, Maryam, have you ever second guessed?
Yes, I changed a whole major, so I went through that path, and truthfully I still am going through this, because as we know, business degrees are very vast, and really you can have any options in the world, and it comes back to the expectations that everyone has. And with the now world we live in, that's very digital and everything is on social media, you have a lot of pressures around you that you want to exceed or you want to do something, and you're looking at someone. So I think as students who are, we're dealing with the student life, we still have to see, what are we going to do next, or the next step.
And I think business and management in general is now a very secure choice, because you can do anything with business and management. There are so many directions you can go to, which is at the same time comforting, but at the same time you have so many options that it might just
I agree.
What am I going to do? Am I going to do marketing? Am I going to do finance? Even though we choose a specification, both of us are on diplomacy, it doesn't really cage us in this one course.
Yeah, or category. And so going back to social media and the unrealistic expectations as we see nowadays.
Yes, I think a lot of what I see personally is all this three-way steps that you just have to do this, you don't have to have a degree for it, and you can become a millionaire, especially before you're 30. I don't know what this craze is with making it in your life before you're 30 and having everything figured out.
Yeah, personally, I really take social media breaks, because it does get very overwhelming, especially when you see young adults flaunting, this is the new house I bought, this is the new car, and I'm like, but I'm still studying, So it does become a bit overwhelming, actually, and I think it is very important for us to realize that this is just one aspect. It's a camera, they're just showing one thing. So I feel like with the future, I don't think there should be I think it's very different for everyone to how to reach that goal or to reach that stage in life, and it takes different timelines for everyone.
And I think not everyone wants that, you know, but it's kind of the pressure that this is the ideal, this is what we have to work toward, and this whole ideal that has been created around us.
Yeah, like this is the new norm. Okay.
Get your finances in order, be rich, and start a family.
Yeah. Within the social media expectations we have, I think the people around us as well can affect big time. For example, parents or like friendships around you and the people. I feel like even as students, we see the pressures around us with people like hustling. Oh, I need to have this internship. I need to do this, like multiple jobs at the same time, you know, and it works for some people, but I feel like for other people, it's just very overbearing and like, it makes you a bit scared, I think, in that aspect.
And I think it's also become this race of like, how many things can I put on my CV? How many things can I list? Oh, I'm doing this student club. Oh, I'm taking on this internship. And it has to be relevant to what you're studying. And I think it's just maybe not for everyone. And I understand that because what my family always tells me, that you should start an internship. It will help you later. You will get a job easier. But I'm so scared.
Like, okay. I mean, for me, I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, I still haven't done any internship. Okay, maybe like not official ones, you know, and like I feel like it's constantly on my mind. Oh, okay, I don't have something on my CV like that. But if you actually look at it, even like the small tasks that we do, I think they do still enhance our chances for in the future. And I think something very nice about IBS is really the opportunity they give us of doing an internship actually, and in any field, even if it's related to, for example, we're doing diplomacy, but we can actually you know, find an internship in any field in regards of business management. And the Erasmus, I think, is one of the biggest advantage we have.
Yeah, I think one of the great parts about the Erasmus at IBS is how easy it is to go to any type of university. Of course, it's easier if they're partner universities. But in Hungarian universities, I've had a lot of friends who have like struggled to convert this class because it just doesn't match, or they just completely have to redo their semester that they would have had to do at their home university. But I mean, for us, it's so free, and it's also an option to choose something completely different than what we're doing.
And it is encouraged, actually. You know, I feel like we're still young, and we shouldn't really be pressured into these expectations or in this hustle. You have to. No, I mean, we can take it easy a bit and like try new things in life, go explore new places. I mean, one of the reasons I chose IBS was really because of the Erasmus. I saw that and I was like, yes, I want to go there, you know. So I think it's a very great opportunity, and we have to remind ourselves that it's okay. Everyone has their own time and their own pace, and it's not like a race and you can't race someone in your own life because you're the main protagonist, you know. So, but in this regard, I think it is important for us to have goals as well, not just see it like, oh, okay, no, we're just gonna relax. No, but there are important things, definitely. But I think we, as this new generation and this whole new media happening, we have a lot of pressure, and we tend to pressurize ourselves as well. So as you can see, we have books who are present here.
And we would like to introduce a guest, which ties into our topic today, about what you would do after graduating.
Who went through these like dilemmas during their term as a student, who went through life, who's ahead of us in life, and probably faced these pressures and expectations and trials. And stay tuned with us to see our guest. So now we have our own special alumni.
Let's welcome Heidi. It's very nice to have you here. How does it feel to be back at thank you very much. Let me introduce myself. My name is Hajnalka Szebeni, and yes, I'm an alumni, former student. I have been studying at IBS between 2009 and 2015, and it's great to be back, of course. I have great memories from IBS. First, I went to the business studies program for 4 years, and then I couldn't stop, so I continued my studies at the Masters of Financial Management. So I kind of have a huge knowledge about business.
So based on this, as we can see now, you are a writer, but before you started writing, we were talking about the expectations of, you know, after graduation, studying business school, the hustle of I have to find work, I have to do this. Did you go through this, and were you always had the thought of becoming a writer?
Obviously not. So first, when I first started to search for a job, I was basically called by a friend, and I immediately started working at the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization. And later on, I applied for a job at UNHCR, United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. And yes, that was the first steps I took as a graduate. That was lovely. I really loved working at these two enormous organizations. It was a great experience. I wouldn't trade it. But later on, I became a mother, and after having my first child, I realized that there is probably more to it than just sitting in an office, and that's when I started writing. But of course, if you decide to start something completely new, area, segment, it will show you some challenges, and of course, it's very difficult sometimes to find the right way in this new area. Of course, I had the struggles at the very beginning. I first couldn't find a publisher. Then once I found a publisher, I had to find someone to illustrate my books. That was the easier part, because I'm working with a girl, and ever since we are doing this brand building together, she's the one I'm always working together with. So she's my angel, I call her. And yeah, that's it. You have to understand that you will face struggles on the way of finding yourself and finding your dream path.
Mm-hmm. And after this major career switch, do you still find that your degree was worth it? Do you utilize it?
Actually, all the time. But not just because it was great being in an international community, and I also had the opportunity to learn so much here, but because the relationships I built here. So for example, once between jobs, I was thinking about changing to something completely different, and I called a friend who was a manager, a very important manager at this company. I don't want to name. Okay. And he told me, "Oh, no problem, honey, just come in, we will interview you, and then you will have a job." It was not a question. I knew that I could fit in that company. I knew that he knew me, and that it could be a great chance for both of us, because we were studying here together, we knew each other, we had group works together, and that's it. So I always keep telling people that build the relationships, go abroad, see different cultures, and believe in yourself.
That's very reassuring.
That's really reassuring, definitely, because as we know, like as students, I think it's just one-dimensional when we are just studying one thing, and we're like, okay, maybe this is the only thing I can do, and we don't know, okay, the change is very hard. I think a lot of people are afraid to take that step, especially if it's the thing they did. So listening to what you said and the changes you went through, and it is really calming and reassuring.
Yeah, I think it is also difficult for us to just see past the end of the degree. Like I have no idea what I'm going to do, what will the next steps be for me. And so again, that was
yeah, I definitely have those thoughts all the time as well, because till this day when people ask me what are you gonna do, I'm like, I don't know, you know, it is hard, I feel like, especially like with a lot of options.
I wanted to ask you about like the path you took to like the challenges you faced while changing, like from this, for example, like I feel like more after graduation, maybe you know, a lot of us now we're like, we want to be career women, we want to do career is top, and then we will think about family later, we will do this later, you know what I mean? So how does it feel like in this environment now?
Actually, it was really difficult because it was not just that my family had expectations towards me, but I also thought that having a career at the United Nations would be the best. And once I realized that I may not be right, then I started thinking that I want to change, and changing and making others understand that this is good for you, this is probably good for your family. It's really hard. Yeah. And I'm not saying that everyone has to do these new because some people find great careers at huge organizations, and they do that with love and passion, and this is what they should do. But by the time of 30, you will see things change, especially your heads, and then you will find yourself and find the ideas that you were looking for. So my suggestion would always be to take yourself seriously, and of course listen to others because they may have great ideas too, but it's you, it's your heart, it's your decisions, your passion and expertise. So just rely on these things, and then you will find the right path.
I mean, for me that's really reassuring, because for me even recently I did a very big drastic change within my majors. Like I studied for 4 years, almost graduated as a dentist, and then I was like midway, no. So that was one of the biggest challenges I faced, and like you said, everyone around me was like, what are you doing, you know? And so actually having stories and like the path you took and like the changes you made is I hope our listeners can like take this as an encouragement that it's okay. Like life is not a rigid path. I think we can, you know, maneuver around it, and I think new passions always like show as well. You know, maybe you never knew, okay, this is something I like until you try it. You know.
Mm-hmm. I think I am yet to step out of my path that I started. I mean, this is my first university and degree I'm pursuing. But I wanted to ask, looking back, do you think you could have made this choice before? Like, do you ever regret that at the time you made it, or do you think that this is just how it happened and everything happened in due time?
I think it is perfect how it is. Well, I met so many people, I meet so many friends I still keep in touch with. We meet, we share lots of life stories with each other, and this is just great. And I wouldn't have had that if it wasn't for IBS. So I'm always grateful that I came here. I'm grateful for my teachers, my mentors. Everything that happens for a reason. Yeah. So
I'm a firm believer in that as well.
And I also believe in faith a bit, because somehow faith finds you. And that's why I became probably I wouldn't have became a writer if I went to another university studying something else. So that's I think it's really great, the opportunity that you can study here. Treasure it.
We are trying. I mean, we're still students. I think it's different when you are actually going through the process till when you actually finish the process. I think when you see the difference. I mean, a lot of my friends are working now, and they're like, stay in university, cherish it. And I'm like, yes, as a student. So I do believe that's very important, and like the connections you build in university, I believe they last for life. Hopefully, they last for life. Yeah. So as we talked about how important it is to build the communication and stuff, I think now at this point we're second years, so we're going through the process of Erasmus, and
Yes, and we are in front of a big decision of choosing where to go, what to choose to study. And as you have gone through this experience, do you have like any advice? Do you think it changes does it depend on where we go, how our experience will turn out?
Certainly. So it's a big choice, a big decision for you, but the most important thing is that you apply and you go wherever life calls you. There is no bad choice. So if you can go, then please go, because those months or maybe a year that you spend there, it can actually change your life. I went to the Netherlands, to Groningen, for half a year. I faced many difficulties. It was difficult to solve them on my own. I got some help from friends who I met there. It was a very difficult time for me, to be honest. But then, again, I wouldn't miss it for the world, you know, because I kind of grew up there to be an adult. That was the first time I was alone in the big world. And after that, when I came home, I got the opportunity to go to the South American student conference in Argentina. And it only happened because I met someone there who told me, "Hi honey, there is this opportunity, just write a paper and then come." And I got selected out of thousands of students, and I was part of that 100 people who could go there, see the beautiful country, take part in that conference, and it was just the greatest opportunity I have had so far. So it was amazing, and I think that you could have those kind of experiences if you went.
Yeah. We want to circle back a little bit to your changed career. Can you tell us a little bit about what were the first steps you took did you first write a book? Did you first find a publisher?
First, I wrote the story itself that I wanted to publish, but when I wrote it, I didn't know that I want to publish it. When I finished, I was like, oh, this is great, probably I should publish it. And I didn't know how it worked. I really had no idea. So first I sent my writing to more than 100 publishers.
Wow.
And I received 2 replies. And 2 of those replies were no. So I was like, wow, that's interesting. So what to do next? And then I was still really into the whole idea of publishing my first book. And I stormed into the kindergarten where my illustrator was working. But back then, I didn't know that she was also a graphic designer, illustrator. So I was like, do you know any illustrators? She was like, I am. Really? I was shocked.
Yeah.
And you see, fate again. Fate brought me to this person, Dori. And ever since we are working together, and it is great. Even without asking me anything, she started doing sketches in the afternoon. And then in a year and a half, the book became a book, and we found a publisher, and I financed it myself at the very beginning, but it's okay because I earned the money, so it's a good chance for me, I think.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic that we did that in a year and a half.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like a lot of people, I think when they hear rejections, they back off, and like the fact that you continue, like, nope, I'm gonna do it. That's really
you have to be strong. You have to stick to your dreams. I think that's the key aspect, especially after graduation, because no one will help you. You have to help yourself.
Yeah, resilience. Need that.
Exactly.
Yes. So, well, as you can see, we have a lot of books. Please share them, read them.
They are in Hungarian though.
Yeah. Imagination is key. You can look at the pictures. Well, I mean, thank you with all of that. Just maybe last advice to the students who are listening to us, to the IBS community, IBS Students podcast.
My suggestion, I think, is that you have to understand that this is a great opportunity studying here in Hungary at IBS, because IBS has a very unique way of teaching, very, I think, modern way of thinking, and it's not regular. So I think most important is that you see that these years that you have here, they are giving so much that you will never ever have later on in your life, most probably. So just try to study and connect as much as you can.
And enjoy.
Exactly, enjoy and go to places, meet people, build relationships. So use your time wisely.
Okay, just before, what is one of your favorite books?
Actually, it's here. It's in
It looks so cute though.
It's called Hajnalka. It sounds a little bit Finnish actually, but I love her because she is a magical creature. She can make potions to heal those living creatures in the woods, and she kind of is a sporty person too. I don't want to spoil it, so read it. But it's a really magical story, in my opinion.
I love the illustrations. Thank you for your illustrator as well.
So this was our episode for today, and the interview was really inspirational. Sorry, and
I think it comforted me a lot and answered a lot of questions that I had. So hopefully you will be comforted by it as well.
I hope by this episode you guys found it insightful and eased your worries a bit. And remember that we're all in the same boat somehow. Maybe not on the same waves, but take it easy. We're all still students, and we can find paths in life. And with that was our first episode, and you guys can watch it and follow us on Instagram and YouTube. And if you guys have any comments, feedbacks, or topics you want us to talk about, in the comments below or on Instagram.
Yes, we welcome any ideas, and we are really excited to continue this further. We were Maryam
and Laura. This was IBS Podcast, student for students with students. Thank you so much.